connection. It's like the connection that uses the flight to the Netherlands anyway, so it's like I don't get it, but
Yeah.
I think they know we have no other choice.
All right, Wardy.
All right, let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a final that not many had expected. Waking up this morning on the Monday, seeing Clem and MaxPax sign up. I'm not sure how many people could have predicted both of these titans of StarCraft 2 being in the finals at the same time. Because this is a rare treat, my dear friends. Did you know that over the past 5 years, they've played 297 series against each other or something like that?
297 series?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. It's like hundreds of, like 600 competitively as well, right? Like they basically played each other on average 1 series a week. On average. That is really crazy.
Yeah. I remember when Reno and Clem were playing each other like once a week, and we thought that was insane. These guys actually play each other like 2 or 3 times a week, and then they take a vacation every now and then when there's like an event.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It is truly quite something. All right. We've seen this a lot, so we kind of can figure out how it's going to go. Ideally, MaxPax wants to go into some type of blink opener, whether that's going to be a 3-gate blink or with a prism or without a prism. That, you know, he'll decide on that a bit later on in the game. Ooh, he's late with the pylon. 22 supply pylon. Is this new?
I don't know.
Hey, he's gonna look at it. He forgot his warp, his cybercore. His cybercore is 6 seconds too late for whatever reason. That's a terrible start. Did he do an instant scout or something?
I was not paying attention. I literally was.
Yeah, me neither.
I was listening to your epic intro.
This is weird. 6 seconds late on that. It's very, very late. It might actually lose a probe as a result of that. That's painful. That's very painful. Plus battery as well. So he can't even really easily send across the map. If he doesn't get the Reaper kill, I think this opener is probably as bad as the first 2 minutes and 35 seconds can go for MaxPax. Like, this is the worst scenario. Absolutely. The worst timeline. Stargate as well. This is not what I had expected either. It's gonna go Adept, Stalker, Stargate. Whenever I see a fast Stalker with a Stargate, I'm always smelling an Oracle and not so much a Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, let's see what pulls out of that in the next couple of moments, because he's definitely thrown some curveballs early in the series. There's going to be a Phoenix right away, though. The Reaper does not go to that right side. Now he will. And now he's going to get a full scout. So Clem going to confirm what this is as well, which is huge, because now he can play around that Stargate.
Yeah, I don't even think... Like, Clem wasn't even considering the fact that it could be Stargate, you know? He was just like, okay, it's going to be Blink again. But then he doesn't get lazy. It's not like he'll be like, oh, okay, he plays like Blink 95% of the time. Let me not check. But no, he always checks. He's so consistent in his output, this guy, man. Now, there is a build that we've seen quite a bit out of Terran players in the past few weeks. And when I say Terran players, I mean mainly Clem. I've seen some other Terrans now trying to follow suit. And what they do is they get Cyclones. They get 1 or 2 Vikings from the starport initially. And then they swap starport with the barracks, and they start pumping tanks and more Vikings, and they'll do like a slow marine tank Viking push out, and it's really freaking strong against these Phoenix Colossus builds. Really freaking strong.
And you go, a couple Marines pulling back, obviously with all the anti-air building up. It's going to be pretty rough. If Clem starts going across the other side, we'll see what MaxPax can do. Gotta be super careful with these Phoenixes. You know what? Not want to let those get caught early or anything. That could be a disaster.
Yep. There we go. You see that? That starport flying over? I think MaxPax was scouting for it, by the way. Earlier, we watched the game between Goblin and Clem, and MaxPax was in my chat, and he was like, I don't know what is correct, but I don't think you should be building Phoenix against this. And then he mentioned wanting to build Stalkers and maybe Charge, and we discussed it a little bit with no real solution to the problem, but I think he was really trying to scout for it, but Clem did a good job hiding the fact that this is what is happening. So he's going for like a push out here, but this is not the real push out. this is just to kind of control the Phoenixes, to keep them at home, make sure there's no fast third base, and Clem is doing a good job at that. Does need to be careful that this Phoenix counterattack now is not just going to pick off 2 Vikings for free. That's exactly what's going to happen here, Wardy.
Yep, just going to be able to get a couple of grabs, and Clem getting caught. That's exactly what you want to do with the Phoenix, right? Find some value, start slowing this down, shutting it down a little bit, as we do have now the ability to get into this mineral line as well. So you're going to get some SCVs, and these Phoenix begin to pay for themselves, which is exactly what you're looking for as MaxPax.
Hell yeah. Good damage there. Phoenix also manages to stay alive, gets the full scout. Immortal. I really wonder if he's going to add in a Colossus or not. Okay, he's going to add in a Colossus. I think if he killed 2 Vikings like he did, maybe continuing Phoenix production is okay. But you know what the problem is, Wardy? Is that Vikings are just really, really good against TOS. Like, against Phoenix Colossus, like, Vikings are so sick. Like, they just own Phoenixes. If you have 6 Phoenixes against, like, 4 Vikings, that's not a nice trade for the Phoenix most of the time. Like, this type of stuff just happens. You can't fly in. If you're going, you have to commit. And Colossus aren't great at that. So we're going to see MaxPax actually collapse on top of this army. We get a lift on one of those tanks. Vikings in the air dealing a lot of damage. As Clem is actually going to keep this position alive. This is not necessarily great news here. We have another Viking moving across. There's 1 tank still alive. Colossus now is out. MaxPax should be capable of actually blasting this, but the Phoenixes will die. The Colossus is going to go down as well.
So yeah, turned into a pretty fun game because Clem succeeds really on this push too. Mortal's still around though. Don't know if Clem can really go in for much more. Like, he succeeds, he would have to drop the Vikings on the ground now, which is obviously going to make them pretty vulnerable. So,
yeah, you can't.
Yeah, so then he doesn't, I don't think he has enough on the ground to really push through any further, but got some value out of this when MaxPax started off pretty well. Now Clem pulls back, gets the tank joining up here. Now this army of MaxPax is still chasing forward, and Clem will take the lock on with the Cyclone. Try and get something done, lose the Cyclone, Siege Tank gets sieged up at least. Yeah, back and forth as Clem starts the bio upgrade, so we'll eventually be able to get up to those as well.
Awkward game, no?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, if you're MaxPax in this case, yeah, just going into a Templar Archives, I think makes the most sense. And just kind of saying, screw your air units. Like, it's nice that you have 6 Vikings, but I don't want you to get any use out of those anymore. Because the bad trade has already happened. Like, keep adding in more Colossus and Phoenixes to deal with the Vikings. It just feels like you're walking straight into a counter to your composition already. So I like this switch up into Templar Archives. MaxPax's eco isn't necessarily that bad compared to Clem's. So eco-wise, he's doing fine. It was just tech where it was awkward. So seeing him transition into Templar Archives, I'm a fan of that. I'm not a fan of this Colossus Wardy. I really am not. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing Fast Storm in this case. If you just add Storm and like 1-2 Archons, you just pump Immortals like your life depends on it. Like, the army supply looks scary. If you look at Clem's army, it is pathetic. It's like 6 Vikings in there. They don't really do a whole lot. Yeah, no, it's you're just kind of giving the Terran a way to utilize their tools they've already made instead of making them useless. Clem stepping forward right now is going to have the Immortals in the front. Is going to get one in the below. Doesn't go down though. Support by the tank right in the back. Couple Widowmines get in position too. There's a Colossus that pops, and Clem sees that he will be able to lift those Vikings back up. Right now they're on the ground. Yeah, instantly we lift up, and we're going to fly them into a natural that currently has no anti-air, and 2 Stalkers warp in, but yeah, Clem's going to be like, okay, I think there's an opportunity for me to break through in this direction, and MaxPax is going to be bleeding out here, down half the army supply here and there, depending on the warp-in timing. I mean, this Colossus is going to die, and Vikings can get back on the ground, get back to tanking. The Widowmines have been doing some work already. We try and set one off with a Stalker. Good split away. Eats only the single Zealot on the Widowmine shot, but Clem's army is kind of low HP, but it just doesn't matter because he's got too much stuff. GG. Wow. Yeah. That's it. That's the stuff, Wardy.
He's so early on. That's some foresight right there. Making friends with the guy that runs online tournaments. Seems like a good plan.
Why was that a good plan for me? The amount of
all the
time that I've wasted playing your tournaments, getting knocked out in the first round, it's very bad return on investment.
But no, it was a great plan.
And on top of that, I also had to be nice to you, so it's a double loss.
It was a great plan. You just, didn't execute on your plan very well.
That's true, yeah.
Imagine all the great seeds and invites you could have had if you just didn't get knocked out straight away every time.
True. Very true. Oh, he's gonna do the proxy barracks. He's been doing this more often.
Hey, did you see him versus Hero yesterday when he won off those?
No?
Hero just decided he didn't need a battery. And
He lost his Nexus.
yeah, he lost the Nexus and a lot of Stalkers to the Reapers. And I mean, a Cyclone showed up before he got rid of the bunker.
Yeah.
So it was bad.
I once was I was complaining to like Clem about this build being too strong. So we spent like an hour just going over it, and then at some point like MaxPax joined in as well. And both Clem and MaxPax told me that this build is really bad. Like Clem was like, I don't think it's viable anymore, and MaxPax was like, it's not viable. It's no good. I was like, man, if it's like in your natural, I think it's freaking strong. And both of them were like, no, it's can't play it anymore. And that's all Clem played like last week or something. And then now he's playing it again. It's like, all right, buddy. You guys are lying to me.
Well, maybe he just took your advice.
True. Oh, that's a nice bunker placement.
Yeah.
You can dance around that.
Oh.
Oh.
So annoying.
One more, baby. One more.
Clem.
One more. Oh, correct.
Correct. Good SCV. Probe just
Is he gonna cancel the Nexus?
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Well, what's the probe doing? I guess saving itself from the Reaper. Oh, he might still get a bunker.
Yeah.
No,
it's going for the battery.
Good choice.
He needs two.
Because that battery's in range of the bunker, no?
Yeah, you need to. You just need to. You can't do this with one. Okay. Look at this SCV micro. You're never gonna catch it. Oh, come on. Really? Are you serious? Clem? Oh my god. I hate this guy so much.
He makes you look like an idiot when you're in the game and out the game.
Yeah. That's actually such a big deal as well, losing that.
Yeah, it completely changes the outcome of it.
Yeah, he's throwing for content.
Big die Clem. He didn't want it to be too easy. Appreciate
This is the reverse of what happened with me earlier. You remember that with the, Clem is not microing so well today. And then he starts like picking up like a side delta.
Yeah, that was a great Clem.
Come on.
This is a 100% belief in Clem. Instantly loses the SCV.
Yeah.
It's not even like it happened after a while. It was like the second shot.
Yeah, the first time he tried.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Ooh, this Stalker. Ooh, is it in trouble? I mean, I'm not sure if it's in trouble or if, Clem is the one in trouble here. Because that mine is gonna die. Reaper will stay alive, I think. Stalker will die as well, but so will the Reaper. Gonna get maybe another SCV kill or so. Barracks coming back home. We're not gonna have a Cyclone anytime soon. Viking on the way out. Aye.
It's gonna land and that will try and help us here. As the SCVs hide behind that Widow mine for the moment.
I'm gonna keep it a $150 with you here. Like this is not looking great for Clem.
What's a $150 mean? Just like honest?
Yeah.
I just don't know
I'm keeping it real with you. Isn't that what the kids say?
I don't know, but I'm gonna find out.
Everything just died, Wardy.
It did, yeah. I was watching while I was Googling.
And?
What?
Updates on the lingo?
Oh, I know. I need more time to figure it out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's understandable. You can also just ask ChatGPT. They're often quicker than Google nowadays. Maybe less accurate, but the answers always provide for.
But if the answer isn't obvious on Google, I don't know if ChatGPT is also going to be able to find it,
Nah, you'd be surprised. These guys, they know what's up. Okay, we have a Raven coming out here for our boy. Clem actually might be going for a committed 3-1-1 push without stim combat. No, he's not. He tricked me there. He built a Marine out of the barracks, and I was like, okay, this could be something cool, but it's just going to be a fairly standard setup here. He has a mine in the natural. He has a Raven there as well. Whenever the Terran keeps the Raven at home, you know it's usually bad news. Okay, he's gonna need to retarget with the mine. Did not do that. Bunker is gonna fall instantly. Auto turret comes down. Bunker stays alive. Do we have a tank in the main? We have a tank in the main. Wardy. I think Clem might be planning on staying alive here.
I do think that's its plan.
I think it's a good idea.
So apparently it just means to be straightforward and not try to deceive or sugarcoat things. It's slang for $1.50, which is used as a casual way to just be truthful.
Yeah. Keep it $1.50 with you, buddy.
I just never heard of it.
Keeping it real.
Yeah, sure. I just can't give up the lingo, man.
Yeah, that's fine. This is an interesting fight because a lot of these stalkers are very low. They could fall. Yeah, 2 of them will actually go down. Observer goes down too. Only 3 SCVs fall. Stim halfway done. I think 1 tank went down there. We still have a tank on the low ground. Damage output of this army is actually fairly decent. If you get the +1, the freaking fort base is so fast though for MaxPax.
That's the problem right now. He's going to keep you pinned in for a while. Now getting like back out onto the map is going to be a struggle for Clem, and it's the moment where the Stalkers get a couple more SCVs. He's going to lose one if he's not careful, but nope, timing was perfect.
He's always careful. Did you know that you could blink in, shoot, pick up?
No, I had no idea, but I just learned that.
Yeah, I probably should have known that, shouldn't I?
Probably, but like, yeah.
Yeah, no, there's really no excuse. I probably should have known that. I thought he was definitely. I thought, yeah, you're gonna have to pick up before the second shot, but I guess you can just do that. That's epic.
Maybe you have to be super precise with the timing of the pickup, though.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe I've tried it before. I lost 3 stalkers.
Yeah. You probably tried it, but like you picked up like 0.1 second late, so it's like goodbye 3 stalkers. You're like, well, that doesn't work. You know, you became a better player. You never do it again. MaxPax is like, no, you just do it properly.
Yeah, it's possibility. It is definitely possible that that's what happened. Okay, we're gonna have a 3rd CC on the high ground down for Clem. Clem is just down in supply by so much. I'm not sure how Clem knows that there's going to be a fort base, because this move out is pretty wild. If this was a regular 3 base and MaxPax would have gotten, you know, like 1 extra warp in, like 1 extra warp in of Zealot, this move out would have been even more suicidal than it already is.
Yep. We're just gonna be seeing those Zealots getting caught a little bit in the force fields, but I guess some good damage on them. A couple Wooden Mines get burrowed up in the back. Colossus and extended thermal lance coming through. There's a couple of Zealots will charge forward as well. We just get toward that bunker, and there's a couple of Wooden Mines burrow on top as well. So the counterattack from MaxPax won't go far, but Clem just does not have a lot overall, right? And he's going to be up against a MaxPax who's teching further and better at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're going to see the second forge. Like, we know what path MaxPax likes to kind of walk down from here on out. Like, second forge, fast 5th base, then we're going to see second robo at some point, and prisms. He's going to be aggressive on the map with basically a Colossus army and then Zealots going everywhere. And the plan is just to keep shaving off units and trade while he's outmining you by a significant margin.
Stalker stepping through, Wooden Mines going off, the little bit of bio up top is pushing some of the Zealots back as well. We do have Clem continue to just sit here and try and stay alive. I mean, his supply is not terrible, but again, against the Colossus, he might struggle a little bit. Can take a stim forward right now. Guardian Shield pops and MaxPax fights back. Does not want to walk into the Wooden Mines, though, and that's going to be a big point of defense for Clem as he pushes it away. Now just has to deflect the attack coming from the upper left.
Oh, Clem sends out 2 medevacs right now. That is a crazy thing to do in this moment. The clarity of mind to do something like that is insane. You have to be very secure of your position, and I don't think there's any way he feels secure in his position, so he's kind of bluffing here, and he's going to get away with it. He's going to kill at least these pylons. That's going to force MaxPax's army back. That might allow Clem for some more plays. MaxPax sends in those 5 Zealots as he sees the double drop, but Clem is in position to deal with it.
Yep. And we're going to be seeing the Prism in the natural is going to be the issue for the moment. The Prism getting into the main base even. SCV's going down, a lot of workers dropping. Damage being done as we have the armory coming through from Clem to try and get to 2-2. It's a much longer term kind of factor as he's just going to keep losing Zealots. Someone could show back up on the 3rd base. At least there's a split there, and he does kill the Prism. So that is nice, and he's still competitive, although now MaxPax catches a medevac or so as well. And actually goes, units need to get the hell away. Clem needs to pull back. It was just a little slow. What's going on?
Lots going on indeed. 2-2 upgrade starting here for Clem. Who honestly, I don't want to say he has managed to stabilize, because I don't think his position is stable at all. Like, he's down an entire base. But I don't think he'll get killed before he maxes out. And if you're maxed out with Viking, Ghost, 2/2 upgrades, anything is possible.
Yeah, maxed out army is always going to have potential, right? He just needs a good couple of fights at this point because MaxPax is getting not 1 but 2 Dark Shrines. So he'll have DTs accessible to him, and then Clem is obviously down on base as well. So Clem kind of needs to deal with harassment while also just finding a way to win a fight, get across the map, and at least shut down one base.
Yeah. Yeah. What if he just sits back and does nothing, though?
Well, that's fine if he just defends and he gets a base up as well, I guess. But if he sits back and does nothing, MaxPax can just double expand and get even further ahead, I feel like, in the long run.
Yeah, but how much further ahead can you really get? Like, whether you have like a 2k bank or a 10k bank, you know? Like, it's probably going to come down to like a couple of fights and like consistent good fights. But I think that's what we're looking for Clem here. Yeah. This army split is crazy out of MaxPax, by the way. His bottom side army is way too small. Yeah,
he's dead on this bottom right side, so that's going to be a lot of units going down. He got some value out of it at first, but he loses both the Colossus there. He gets back in on the left, 22 dead SCVs. This Clem is trying to float a 4th in position. He will be able to take it in the forward location now because that's the position he pushed an army away from, so he can at least get the 4th down. He was struggling to get it down up on the top side already. As the 2-2 upgrades continue in, a couple of DTs getting added on alongside a Shadow Stride upgrade.
I mean, at this point, it's going to be impossible for Clem to play a macro game, right? He's still trying, like he's re-adding the SCVs, but 53 to 77 is going to be tough. And Clem isn't maxed out either. That means that MaxPax can just start taking these really kind of inefficient trades as long as he has enough production behind it, which I think he has. He's currently on 12 gates. He's adding a second robo. If he doesn't completely get wiped off the face of the earth, he should be fine.
Yeah. Just needs to, I mean, honestly, just this is fine as well, right? Like, poking on the other side, like you said, as long as it doesn't take one horrendous fight where he can't reproduce before Clem gets across. His army is not great, right? Like, it's very Zealot Stalker heavy. I mean, obviously the DTs are going to be an annoyance now. Clem has to go and deal with this. I do worry a little bit about the quality of MaxPax's army, but he's starting to add some disruptors into that will also make it difficult for Clem to push across quickly with one big shove.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only thing MaxPax needs to be worried about is if he dies on his own side of the map with his army. So a lot of people, they'll look at this situation and are like, oh, why doesn't MaxPax just defend? Well, actually, the closer he is to his own production, the riskier it is to have this army, right? The closer you are to your opponent, the more use you can make of your bank before your opponent hits you again. So MaxPax is ensuring himself that he's going to have a second fight. Well, if he defends at home, then yes, he might have a better defensive position and he's with batteries and cannons, but he might not have actually a second army that is as big. And he wants to continuously be trading as well, so just being aggressive makes a lot of sense, right? You want to use your bank. Like, the bank sitting there doesn't do anything, you want to use it.
Yeah, we are going to be seeing the bio. It should be a good fight for Clem. The Disruptor lands, but most of them are orders that don't die from it. And you're using those Disruptors to try and push Clem back a little bit, but Clem's going to get the jump now. Those Disruptors will fall. Again, it's the Zealots and the DT that just run into a base at the same time. But Clem gets right across the map. Base will go down. You get reduced back down to 4 bases as MaxPax. Like, you already have a bit of a bang, but this is an issue. Like, he's not being stopped at all. The Zealot run by is being stopped. The Robo facility now going down, so some Disruptor production halted. We've got 2 more Robos. It's not the end of the world, but Clem is going to get serious work done. He loses his 3rd base, however, so that gets a bit out of hand, but he kills yet another Disruptor. Out of medevac energy almost. Going to have to stim again shortly, so that might be a problem as well. Disruptor from the flank, and Clem has to lift up. What does he lose? Nothing as he starts to unload. He wants to kill that Nexus. He does finish it off, and he goes into the main base. We recall Zealots there, but Zealots alone might not be good enough, and we're also going to lose the +3 attack upgrade. Wow. What a crazy situation.
This is a crazy situation indeed. +3 going down, 1 base falling, a bunch of workers, I think, going down too. Clem not paying attention, though, is going to lose 2 medevacs for free. I do believe that MaxPax is coming out of this, the victor out of this little trade. Like, his bank is just too big, and Clem is now giving him too much time. For a second, I almost started to believe if he lands like the Vikings he has left, it's like, well, this is feeling pretty close, you know?
Yeah, no, I kind of felt like this was a I felt like Clem was doing it, but MaxPax had a ton of money to spend. So for all the bases that Clem gets rid of, MaxPax is out of money. But Clem didn't have that money to spend himself, and Clem was obviously losing stuff throughout this as well. And MaxPax realized Clem has a lot of supply just stuck in the bottom of the map, so he's going to start attacking the other side with a larger force. I don't think Clem holds on to this. Maybe the planetary can have something to say. Clem gets back in the main, but there's units here to defend. That's just the difference in numbers. MaxPax seems to be good in every portion of the map at the moment.
Yeah, Clem is trying to defend at home over here on the third base, or what was once his main base, floating over towards the third base location. 3-3 has finished up for him right now. He's down 40 supply. He's just lacking ghosts as well, right? He has 2 total, and there's stuff happening everywhere. Tried once again to drop into the main base. GGG, as MaxPax going to tie up this series.
Game, good game. He's in the bottom left-hand side. The red Protoss player to start us off in this best of 5 game 3. It is MaxPax. He is taking on Clem in the bottom right, our blue Terran player. Let's see where we get to with this game 3. Let's see what the openings want to be. See if MaxPax is back to Blink. Maybe some more Stargate, mix it up a little bit. It's not the best map for Blink, so we'll see what he wants to do on this one. Over the next few moments, we get that all set and ready, and away we go. Sub-Zero has left the game. Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Thank you.
No problem. I hope you had a good break.
Good toilet break.
Yeah, I hope it was fulfilling.
Is very filling. I haven't eaten yet a whole lot today. I skipped breakfast. I think that was a mistake.
Definitely a mistake.
Then I had a small lunch. I think sometimes it's better not to eat than to have like a small amount of food, you know what I mean? Because if you eat a little bit, then, you know, your stomach gets angry. It's like, oh, you just gave a little? You know, it's like teasing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what are you doing at the same time, Wardy? You don't seem like you're engaged with me at all.
My throat's dying.
No, really? You should get some strepsils then. They don't work, but they're kind of tasty.
I have strepsils on my desk. They're good for numbing your throat. They don't actually fix anything. They just make it slightly less annoying. I don't think it would actually help me talk.
Yeah. I ate a strepsil yesterday. I had no throat problems, but I was just hungry.
I always find like if you start eating a little bit, you just want to eat. It's, yeah.
I had that very strongly indeed.
It's a pain.
Yeah, it really is a pain. All right, here we go. MaxPax, Adept, Wardy. You know what the problem is on this map, Wardy? Is that, he's gonna go for a 3-gate pressure here. Or 2, no, it has to be 3-gate pressure. I was gonna say the problem on this map is that you don't have so many options. So one of the options you have is to play like a defensive setup, Blink. And then the other option you have is to play like Stargate, because aggressive Blink on the map, like where the hell are you gonna blink? Like over the gold minerals? No, you can't really do that. So there's only one direction you can attack, which makes it bad. So I've seen some robo builds on this map. I'm not a huge fan of them. Hero likes them, Skillet is okay with them. But the thing that I'm really looking forward to is this 3-gate. I hadn't even considered that as an option. That's what makes it so exciting.
Definitely a bit unique and aggressive as well. We've seen a lot of the players getting aggressive lately. Hero was really loving the aggression against Clem yesterday too, like a lot of 3-gating and kind of getting up in the face of his opponent super early. And MaxPax has also had that tendency, it feels like, lately. So fun to see. We'll see what happens as we have our CC just moving across to the natural location. But yeah, these units are going to start applying pressure. Obviously, the Twilight Council on the way now, but it is delayed. So if you don't get a lot done with these initial gate units, that it can be a little bit rough that you're behind, because you're not just going to be behind on Blink, but you're behind on a potential charge upgrade later as well. Like, it can really throw you off throughout the game. As Clem, we're going to see this now and has to start pulling back. Fortunately, he's going to have a tank popping out soon, but he's already going to lose 2 Marines. 3, and that's a painful start as he loses a 4th as well. Tank finally here.
Yeah, Cyclone lock-on is good here though, as the Reaper bounce helped the Cyclone stay alive. Gonna get another lock-on over here. Might be capable of getting one more Stalker. Will barely not get it. Matter of fact, gets a couple of shots on it. As this is gonna get pushed back. It's not like the eco is really bad here for MaxPax, by the way. Like, this is fine economy for MaxPax. He's up 13 workers still. He killed a couple of these bad boys. If there is no counter damage out of Clem, I actually don't mind MaxPax's position.
No. That's at that point as the blink is going to start up on the Twilight Council. A couple of assimilators will come through from MaxPax.
Ooh.
And the Raven from Clem as he does get the medevac through the bottom, but MaxPax is moving in position to deal with it.
Is this Templar Archives then? He doesn't like playing 2-base Colossus, right?
I don't think so. I don't see him play 2-base Colossus a lot, but it'd be kind of a weird time to go Archives, no?
My rule is that if you're gonna get very late tech, I'd rather have it be the Archives than the Robo Bay.
Oh,
And,
well,
I mean, this would be a really late Robo Bay if you're asking me. Like a really, really late Robo Bay. Because you're starting at like 5:30. Like usually by the time Stim finishes, you'd have like half a Colossus done in that case. So, okay, now it's actually gonna go for, wow. Okay, I'm surprised by that. That Colossus is gonna be late as hell.
definitely should give Clem an opening opportunity at some point here as we try and press forward against these Stalkers. We're going to get one kill right there. The Marines flank, going to get rid of one of the low HP Stalkers. Now another Cyclone lock-on is good, and Clem, oh my goodness, gets so much value. Obviously, Blink just not done, so there's so much you can do with these Stalkers. There's a great little flank with the medevac, making a great use of it. Pops the Guardian Shield on the high ground already. Clem seems to want to fight that anyway. Obviously, he killed a lot of Stalkers here, so he might just feel like he has the numbers to do this. Sieges up one tank is going to limit where you can be as MaxPax. He has a couple of Stalkers still in the center. Now with Blink, he's actually going to dive in to try and get this siege tank. It's going to get it, but it costs him every Stalker. GG.
Wow, Jesus. Dude, this game flipped on its head in like 10 seconds.
That was an insane push. And just
Insane.
for the first opportunity to win this finals. MaxPax is down 1-2 over Clem. Big map, King's Cove. Good one to set up your base on, sit back on. If we get to a later game between these two, I think that'll be very fun, but we've obviously seen many a reason why these two stop each other from getting to those late games as well.
Yeah. It's it's a tough matchup. What can I say? It's crazy because it feels like both of them can kill the other at any point in the game as well. And that kind of makes it interesting. Very often, you have these kind of one-sided things where, you know, in TvZ, Clem doesn't really die in the first 5 minutes, but he can kill in the first 5 minutes. You know, he basically is just killing. And in some people, they can go head-to-head. But here, it's like MaxPax can kill, Clem can kill. Really, at any point in time, one of them could walk across the map and win the game at like a feeling, in a random, in a kind of, random way, which is cool. It keeps the games fresh, despite them, you know, playing each other an absolute marathon. Yeah. Yeah,
it is actually very true. It's like, while Clem and MaxPax happens a lot, it's still very fun. There's a reason people still watch it, because it isn't just the same every time. Like, yeah, MaxPax does a lot of the Blink openers, but the games play out very differently, very, very frequently. So, yeah, it was fun to watch.
I mean, we've had like a semi-base rate already in this game. The previous game made no sense. The first game made no sense. Like, we're eating good. Do you know what that means? We're eating good?
Yeah.
You can also just say we're eating, you know? That's what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you can say like he ate.
He ate.
Yeah, and he's like, they did something cool. Or they did something sick.
I understand that reference. I'm not that far to touch, I guess.
Nice.
Not in this regard.
Yeah, I'll just keeping you on the...
Yeah, no, keep me in check.
Yeah, in the loop. All right. This is world's most boring build out of Clem. It's a Reaper 1 gas expand. He used to love to play this. I always say that when Terrans play 1 gas Reaper into Marine, that usually there's something wrong with the matchup. Because that is like... That build is basically saying, I want to get into the most standard game in the entire world. Like, as long as they're like, basically saying, I want to survive for 6 minutes, please. Like, that is literally all you're doing. You're not going to win the game majority of the time off of a 1 gas Reaper Marine opener. It's just not a thing. It just doesn't exist. Like very rarely will you see like a medevac with a mine fly in at like 440 and the Protoss going, let me lose 12 workers to that. No, you're gonna kill like 2 probes and you'll lose both mines. That is the standard interaction with this build order, and that's kind of what you're aiming for. So it's usually a sign of confidence. Whenever I see Terrans play a lot of 2-gas, they usually don't feel so confident in the matchup.
Fun way of looking at it.
You remember when Cure had his like crazy streak?
Yeah, 2023.
Yeah. Reaper Marine every single game, baby. This guy, he had no shame. He had such a good streak.
I know. I was just about to say, it was crazy how good he was at TvP for like 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
And then just went back to being normal. Like,
yeah, he just quit.
Yeah.
He just stopped being good at it.
Yeah.
It made no sense. And the weirdest part is that he didn't have like a strategy. You know, sometimes a player that isn't a top player will perform very well in a certain matchup because they figured like out a certain strategy or a way of attacking, you know, like they do something different. But he was playing legitimately world's most standard Terran versus Protoss in the entire world, and he was just owning everyone. He's just eating them alive every single time. And then after 3 months of just destroying every toss consistently, I was like, all right, I'm done. Back to losing games, playing the same style. It made 0 sense.
You just got lucky for like 3 months, I don't know.
It's like the timeline, you know? It's like if it is like 0.01% chance, like someone's got to get it. And that was Cure. Yeah, it's surreal. Crazy 3 months for him. It's going to be a fast Raven here, by the way. So he's skipping the meta group. This is a really cool build. It's one of my favorites against 3-gate Blink. The reason why I say that is because one of the problems with 3-gate Blink is that if nothing hits you, it is so uncomfortable because you don't know how many Stalkers you want to keep at home. While if there's like a mine drop, for example, and you stop the mine drop, you kill the medevac or you kill both mines, you can say, okay, this was nice. I can now send all Stalkers across the map. The next threat is going to be a relatively late Raven. But because nothing has hit yet, actually you're forced at keeping 2, maybe even 3 Stalkers at home. And then the Raven can still deal damage. It's going to deny mining time, kill 1 or 2 workers. So this feels completely fine here for Clem. Ooh, second tank also pops out. Bunker on the low ground is available. Like, this opener is really freaking smooth for Clem. And he still has the ability to deal some damage. Yes, it's going to be late damage, but I think it will be fine.
Stalker's going to catch an add-on, and they will get it deeper in the corner as well. Clem going to have to step the siege tank a bit further forward just to provide some better coverage as his tech labs come under fire, but that little bit of an edge forward is good enough to keep this combat shield alive. It actually is good enough to keep the combat shield alive, so very well done there. And he gets 4 probes across the map currently with the Raven. Big pull probe away as well. So we get those probes pulled back, and Stalkers will put a bit more pressure on. The tank steps up just a little further. Beautiful defense from Clem. Great combination with the Raven coming in too.
Yeah, crazy good defense. It's quite a bit of cash lost there for MaxPax. So it's 4 workers. He has 2 workers that are still not mining. That's going to cost him dearly as well. So he needs to make a decision right now. It's like, do I want to warp in more Stalkers, or do I need to start adding gateways at home? And I am not sure if he can go for like 2 more Stalker warp-ins. He doesn't even have charge yet here, Wardy. I think he forgot.
That's not great. If you're gonna remain behind on in this game, it doesn't set up great, then being late on charge isn't gonna help you too much. He's gonna start going toward it now, so maybe he gets away with it. I mean, Clem has the upgrades finishing. There's a realistic chance he moves across the map fairly soon.
Yeah, for sure. We have another auto turret coming. It's going to get 2 more workers and a little bit of damage here on that Stalker as well. Raven stays alive. This is the King's Cough problem as well, right? Like, you can never catch this freaking Raven. It's so close yet so far. Super annoying. Stalker's in the front now will need to start putting in some work, but he actually loses a Stalker while trying to kite there. We have a robotics bay, which is like 70, 60% done. You have concussive shells that's about to finish up. I mean, I'm having trouble seeing MaxPax hold this, if I'm being real honest.
It's a difficult push. I mean, Io's already coming across. Clem being very safe, pre-sieging those tanks very early on right now. The Prism is on the other side as well. That's going to be potentially trying to go in, but there's already units in position, so The Zealot does nothing. The Prism has to hold back and maybe delay the third from landing is kind of where we're at right now, which is not great. I'm just going to pull back. He's going to give MaxPax some more time. And, yeah, he's going to let MaxPax maybe have a better shot at staying alive in this one.
Yeah. I'm not so sure if this is giving him a lot of chances of staying alive. Clem is still set up in the middle of the map, so he has a relatively short rush distance. I wonder if he's just going to give up like mining in his main and net or a third for a little bit and say, I want to run across right now, because I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, Viking here is going to be really nice because now you can actually kill that Prism, so that is going to be guaranteed dealt with, and now Clem can more so fully focus on the other side. He is still going to have a good army supply lead. The first Colossus out, a couple tanks still to support though. If he can just edge his way towards that fourth base, put himself in a good spot, he can really control the ramp. And that makes it very difficult for MaxPax. Having to come down a ramp into tank shots is never going to be fun. Even the Stalker's turn the corner there is a bit rough. Because you got a couple of probes with the Raven once again. That Raven's still alive in the back, so can continue to come in with auto turrets every so often.
Yeah, ooh, Zealots actually are going to be left alone. We have 2 mines at the third base. We'll clear 2 Zealots before they get to hit. Quite a bit of damage as well on those Zealots. Maybe even an SCV pool can deal with those. At the same time, fourth base most likely will need to be cancelled. Clem pulling ahead further and further in supplies. The first set of Vikings has now arrived. This army is a little bit bruised. These 2 medevacts are going to be necessary to heal that up. The Zealot flank will be good enough to snipe a single tank. Second tank will stay alive, and that was an expensive little flank there.
Yeah, a lot of units for a single tank. Tanks nice, but obviously getting less valuable over time. You know, at first they're really good at zoning the Colossus out, but now we're getting Vikings up. You're not as needing of the tanks as well, right? So losing one is not the end of the world for Clem. He's going to back it up for now. He's already killed the fourth base off. It's a massive lead for him. He's established a great position, and he's going to take the advantage, back away for the moment, and then get set to come again, maybe with everything in a few moments from now, because he's going to max out way faster than MaxPax here.
1, 2, 3, 4 gases for Max. Does have thermal lance. Okay, so we've seen how Clem kind of approached coming back into the game, right? So like maxing out and then seeing if he can do something. I think for MaxPax, the way to get back into it here is to have a very big Zealot run by. And I'm talking like 8, 9, 10 Zealots or so. You see your opponent move out, you send them in, and you hope you can deal a lot of damage. Force maybe an all-in out of Clem when he isn't quite ready yet to fight, and then maybe you can do it. I always feel like if you're just trying to come back into the game with like these small amount of Zealot warpins, like if you're sending in 3 Zealots, you're gonna kill 7 SCVs max, you know? If you're sending in like freaking 15 Zealots, we could kill like 2 bases worth of SCVs.
Yep.
Oh.
Sub-Zero. He left earlier. Should have left this time too. Oh, he did. Good job. Alright.
Nice.
Quick fix.
Yeah. He's out of there real fast. Usually when the forward base is at the same time for Terran and Protoss, it's a bad sign for the Protoss player. Although Clem is playing it kind of slow, if I'm being real honest with you. We have 10 Vikings. Wardy. 10!
That's a lot. Those Colossus are going to be in some trouble now. It's going to be a little bit difficult. And he's got the Raven still harassing as well. Puts that in a good position, and yeah, maxed out. We're going to step forward here. Stalkers, need to be careful. I mean, that's not a good blink. It's not going to get them far enough away. So a bunch of Stalkers already going down. Love the Concussor Shells targeting 2 different ones there to make sure he slows both of them. Yeah, very well handled by Clem as he just punishes those few Stalkers. And MaxPax tries to come in with the Prism right here. Clem does not have a lot of like anti-Prism defense in terms of like missile turret setup or anything preemptively. So there's a couple of Ghosts in his main base, which are not exactly what you want. There you go, both going to die. So already a nice drop, nice attack from MaxPax.
Yeah, he's waiting some time. He's waiting some time for sure. I feel like Clem is kind of missing his timing window, no?
I feel like he should have been more actively ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, and you know that MaxPax is going to send in a Prism, right? So like 2, 3 Vikings towards the top, maybe 1 or 2 towards the bottom. I don't think that is a luxury. I think that's a necessity against a player like Max, but Clem didn't quite do that. Now, these Stalkers are being pushed back. The main damage in this army will have to come out of the Disruptors, though, because the Viking count is just simply too big. Like, if you're fighting 3 Colossus with 10 Vikings, as the Viking man, you're going to be having an absolutely buzzing time over here. Vikings have +1 ship weapons as well. 2-2 is finishing up for Clem in 2 seconds, and he was waiting for that. So that's the timing he was waiting for. I feel like 1-1 and up 40 supply would have been better, but I still think this is going to be very, very good here for Clem. We don't really have the entire army here either for MaxPax. We now have Zealots coming in as a flank. It's kind of awkward here as more Disruptors are trying to connect. Colossus managed to stay alive as the Vikings were on a weird errand as well. So far, this honestly went better for MaxPax than I thought it should have.
Yeah, Clem made a bit of a weird dive. I think he really wanted to just get on top of some Disruptors already. He's going to try and turn the Disruptors now. Force will try and buy you a little bit of space. The Colossus should just get shot down. The Vikings should be able to deal with that very easily. The Zealots flank back in from the other side, Clem. He's going to have to lift up and relocate here. As every Colossus does drop down, he gets back to the center, back to some of the static defense units like the tank and the Widow Mine. And MaxPax still going to struggle, right? Because now he's really just on a Disruptor force, and he's only got 4, so he doesn't even have like kind of like endless count of Disruptors. That's not exactly looking great either.
Yeah, these mines got a lot of damage here as well, like on the Zealots, and they killed a couple too. They're not the greatest cleanup there. There is a Prism out on the left side. There's no turret in the main base, so maybe there's something there. Disruptor shots need to be big. Oh! Those Ghost Wardy! So close to hitting the jackpot there. So close, but no cigar. We're now going to get a snipe on a Disruptor before the Purification Nova finishes up. 180 supply to 170. There is no active Disruptors right now. Clem is halfway to 3-3 as well. Prism's going to make its way into the main base. Do we have a Dark Shrine? Yeah, we do. Do we have turrets in the main? We don't have turrets in the main. And we're currently on...
Huge Disruptor shot. Massive Disruptor shot. Gets all the ghosts. It's going to slow Clem down a lot.
Did he legit kill like 4 ghosts there?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the jackpot you didn't have earlier, as we are going to see another Disruptor shot here. Just clips the edge of the Marines. Few Zealots will begin to go down. Vikings landing. We continue to commit on forward. Disruptors are dying though before we can get there. But Disruptor shot does not matter in the end. Clem takes the 20.